Good evening, everybody. Would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Good evening. I'm Charles Buck. I'm Vice President of the Board, and I'm filling in for our President who cannot be here this evening.
Okay, roll call vote. Ms. Adair.
Here.
Ms. Anderson. Ms. Beebe.
Here.
Mr. Buckheim.
Here.
Ms. Davidson.
Here.
Ms. Farry.
Here.
Mr. Impagliazzo. Ms. Panzarella.
Here.
Ms. Spalding. We have quorum.
Okay, thank you. Also present is Mr. Iannucci, our superintendent, Sean McCarron, our business administrator and supervisor of curriculum, Steve Bailey, our principal, Mary Volks, Phil Silva, vice principal, Gary Volks, and Frank Hines, our supervisor of buildings and grounds. Can I have a motion on recommending that the board approve the minutes of the following meetings? Our regular meeting, May 24th, executive session, May 24th, regular session, June 2nd, executive session, June 2nd.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes. I'll second it.
Okay. Any questions? Okay, so I'm going to do this in two separate approvals. One for approval of minutes for May 24th is what I'm going to go through first, and then I'll do the June one. Ms. Beebe,
Yes.
Ms. Farry,
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella,
Yes.
and then Ms. Davidson, Mr. Buckheim, and Ms. Adair will all abstain from the May 24th due to absences. So now I'm going to do approvals for the June 2nd meeting. Ms. Adair,
Yes.
Ms. Beebe,
Yes.
Mr. Buckheim,
Yes.
Ms. Farry,
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella.
Yes.
Motion passes due to majority.
Thank you. All right, next is our financial report. We have a motion on the floor.
I make a motion to approve the financial report.
I'll second that.
Any questions?
Okay, roll call vote. Ms. Adair,
Yes.
Ms. Beebe,
Yes.
Mr. Buckheim,
Yes.
Ms. Davidson,
I abstain, I was absent from the June 2nd, both regular and executive session.
oh, I apologize, this is the financial report. I had marked you down for abstention on the other two because you weren't here, yes.
Okay, thank you.
I'm sorry.
My vote is yes.
I was like, what's wrong with my report? I'm like, I got worried, I was like, oh.
Sorry,
Ms. Farry,
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella.
Yes.
Motion passes.
At this time, we're going to have a moment for a special presentation for one of our wonderful board members, Patty Adair.
I'm going to read this and embarrass Mrs. Adair a little bit more.
Thank you.
Okay? So it says, the Runnemede Public School District for the recognition award to Mr. Adair in recognition of earning sufficient credits in the New Jersey School Boards Association Board Member Academy Program to receive a certified board member award. She satisfied all the criteria, including earning a minimum of 20 credits through attendance in academy programs, the NJSBA annual workshop, a variety of county programs, including at least one full term as a school board member. We applaud her for caring enough about the Runnemede School District to make the effort on her own time to improve her skills and knowledge in this most important position.
Thank you.
I need to get your best sides for the
I don't have
website.
one.
Since we're all about the website this meeting.
Face for radio, I have a face for radio, thank you.
And I'm happy to say that we have several of our board members that are state certified board members. And one of our board members sitting right over there is a master certified board member, Naomi. So, well done. Congratulations, Patty.
I know.
Okay, so recognition of our citizens for public comments on any agenda items. The public is reminded that they should attempt to resolve problems and/or complaints through initial contact with the staff member or members involved therein and the chief school administrator prior to petitioning the Board of Education. Complaints should only be brought to the board after the appropriate school staff has had a reasonable opportunity to resolve the problem at the employee level. statement should be limited to topics to be addressed on the published agenda and limited to a length of 3 minutes. The board president will recognize those individuals in the audience who wish to comment on any of the agenda items at this time. We ask that you please state your name and your address. Anyone in the public at this time on agenda items? Yes, sir.
Thank you. Good evening. John Schmidt, Gloucester, New Jersey. Last page of your agenda under board committee meetings. There's a note Wednesday, July 20th and Wednesday, August 17th. Are those committee meetings, I'm assuming, open to the public?
Yes.
Okay. Do you, your other committees, are they also open to the
When you
public?
say, you mean our regular board meetings?
No, Wednesday, July 20th and Wednesday, August 17th. Both listed at 1 o'clock p.m.
As board/committee meetings, so it's both.
And the committee meeting is open to the public.
The committee meetings are closed to the public because we went to individual committees from committee of a whole, which is how we used to operate. So during reorganization, we now have members for each committee, so those meetings are not open to the public. We don't have a quorum during those meetings.
You have an effective majority.
No, we have under
We
5.
have 4 members.
Effective majority is 3. I would ask the board to look into it. A 2006 decision was Superior Court out of Spring Lake regarding their planning board, which is a 9-member board, similar to the Board of Education. And the judge ruled that 3 members of the planning board meeting, because quorum is 5, effective majority is 3, that he found that the effective majority is 3 for purposes of OPMA. So any times that 3 get together, considers a meeting as an effective majority of the planning board. So using that same logic, 9 members, and seeing that there was 4, which is 1 additional to an effective majority, was wondering if that meeting would be open to the public or not.
We can look into that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public? Okay. Superintendent's report, or Secretary Curriculum report.
As of right now, my office is in the process of rolling over from the 15-16 school year into the 16-17. Auditors are scheduled to be coming in the next 2 weeks to do their annual review. We've already submitted a majority of things to them, so they can start that process a little bit sooner. Our school secretaries are extremely busy making sure that all orders are being processed for the start of September and making sure that we get all of our items in over the summer months and prior to school starting. New Jersey School Boards Association did post for workshop 16, which is in October, so you'll see that that's on the agenda for this evening. That's an event that board members, superintendents, and business administrators attend, and it kind of goes over different trainings and provides different opportunities for learning experiences throughout. With curriculum, we did roll out summer reading for staff and students, so that went out to all students, including incoming kindergarten students are involved in that. And we did a one book, one school format where we did it by grade span, so grades K, 1, and 2 all have the same book. Grades 3, 4, and 5 were all given the same book, and grades 6, 7, and 8 were all given the same book. And that will hopefully provide opportunities for shared commonalities when students return to school in September.
Okay.
I'll just touch on a couple of things.
Yes.
Enrollment, 873 kids, we wrapped up the school year. We did have 14 out-of-district placements. That number will get changed a couple. We're bringing back some kids from out-of-district come September. Mrs. Hubbard has been working very hard with families. Some of those students will be enrolling in our summer extended school year program to acclimate them to the district. So that should be, looking forward to bringing some kids back. We do have 1 position still open for the middle school technology. That has not been filled yet. We have some resume, it's still posted. I know we have a couple resumes. You see that probably at the August meeting. Well, it'll have to be at the August meeting. You'll see that higher. I want to thank Mr. Hines and his staff for assisting teachers in moving if they had to move classrooms this year. great job of getting those teachers moved and packed up and ready to go. Graduation, I want to thank Chaz and Dave for assisting with the diplomas and attending, anyone else who attended that night. Thank the administration and all the staff for their hard work, and the kids did a great job. 102 graduates, which for us is good size, but everything went well.
A lot of girls.
The kids performed. Well, there were more females than males this year, yes. Summer program, we start that up on Monday of next week. We'll be using Volt School for all our summer programs, summer enrichment, ESY program. The summer rec, the Borough Summer Rec program will also be hosted here. Mr. Talaferro is once again the supervisor for the summer rec program. They'll be working from 12 to 3, Monday through Friday.
Do you have a number?
What's that?
Do you have a number?
Of kids? When I talked to him yesterday, he had over 60.
Wow.
It's good.
Which is a lot more than when it was just
Yes. And we usually get a lot of kids that sign up that first day or so.
a very effective combination of services, I think.
Yeah, it's good. So if the kids in the enrichment program or the ESY program, they have lunch in between. So that runs through, summer rec runs a week longer than our summer program does. And that's all I have.
If any board members have any questions pertaining to either principal's reports, if not, we can move on.
Mr. Buckham, do you mind if I go back?
Go ahead.
Under presentations, one thing that, I'm the HIV coordinator for the district, so one thing that I have to do on an annual basis is report to the board. So while it's reported to you on a monthly basis, any HIV situations that arise and that you approve on a monthly basis at the end of each school year, I have to inform you of how many investigations we did as a district, how many were confirmed, how many weren't confirmed. So as you know, I'm the HIV coordinator for the district. Our two guidance counselors, Ms. Beta, who just retired, so the new guidance counselor will become the new HIV specialist for Bowles. And Mr. Silva is also one of the HIV specialists for Bowles listed. And then Kristen Callahan is the HIV specialist for Bingham and Downey. So they pretty much take any reports that come in. All those reports then get sent to myself and Mark for approval. It's then placed on the board agenda for your confirmation at the end of each month, once the investigations are done. So just so everyone's aware, this year, total investigations that were completed, we had 16 investigations across the entire district. The way in which we do things is if that term, harassment, intimidation, or bullying, is used in any situation with students, we always make sure that we investigate the situations fully to make sure that we're following all those procedures and that whatever is needed in terms of supports are carried out for the students and families involved. Of those 16 investigations, there were 3 investigations that were confirmed under harassment, intimidation, and bullying, which we've gone over we usually go over the definitions of HIV during the fall to explain the process and what we do. 8 of those were not confirmed as HIV. 4 were not confirmed as HIV, but were a violation of code of conduct within the district. And then 1, there wasn't sufficient evidence, which means that in terms of investigating, nothing added up to what was being stated or done from any of the parties involved. And then based on school, there was 1 investigation done at Bingham, 3 at Downing, and 12 at Bowles. As we do these investigations, what happens is as the students get older, there's more conflict between students. So many times it's important for counselors, administration to intervene in those situations. And one thing that we do try to do as we evaluate it on a monthly basis is identify, is there a grade level that needs more assistance or support? Is there a specific group that needs more assistance and support? And many times when our counselors are pushing in and providing lessons or doing their group sessions, that's really where that focus can come from many times, to try to support those students and really give them the knowledge of what harassment, intimidation, and bullying means, and provide them with the conflict resolution skills necessary that they might have.
Okay, thank you. PTA, any updates or comments? Not this time?
No.
Under committee reports,
Thank the PTA for all their hard work with the 8th grade dance. I know that no one else in the room has an 8th grader, but thank you for any PTA person.
thank you very much.
And helping at graduation and stuff too. They also assist with graduation and stuff. Thank you for that too.
Any other committee reports? I know Sam, who's not here this evening, our president, she gives us an update on Black Horse Pike Regional, and I believe she's also Camden County Education.
I have an update quickly on one of our own 8th grade students that graduated 8th grade and went to Triton. Mr. Jackie Sam graduated with honors at Triton High School this year, the class of 2016, and he was one of 5 valedictorians.
Ruby Patel was also.
Yes, also
Yeah.
Ruby Patel, yes. So that was kudos to our district for, enhancing his education, and he did very, very well at Triton. So I just wanted to publicly acknowledge the teachers for their thoughtfulness and for their important influence on all of our students, but particularly the ones that were held special honors, so.
Okay, thank you. I personally, I sit on the Planning and Zoning Board. I don't sit, I attend those meetings. And at the June meeting, I was there. The property that was 7-Eleven on the Black Horse Pike at the corner there, they approved that to be torn down and new construction. It's going to become from Cooper Hospital, like a Med
Express.
Med Express type of complex. The difference is the personnel that will be in that building, they will have a fully certified doctor from their emergency ward working there, a nurse, a radiologist, administrative assistant, and another person in the medical area. And they feel that with construction and everything that it'll be completed and open in spring of 2017. But it'll be a beautiful change to that corner property.
Such a
It'll be very nice. So, and that was the only action that was taken at that meeting. Okay. I just want to mention at this time that we will not be going into executive session. So we will now move on to our next item of property and transportation.
I make a motion to approve property and transportation.
Second?
1 through 4.
I'll second.
Yeah.
Any comments or questions? Yes.
We don't have executive, it's checked out.
I know, we don't need to go into executive session after talking to Samantha.
Okay, cool.
Yes, that's good. You'll understand as we move along.
Right.
Okay, good question. Other property and transportation, any questions or comments? None? Okay. We'll vote.
Ms. Adair,
Yes.
Ms. Beebe,
Yes.
Mr. Buckheim,
Yes.
Ms. Davidson,
Yes.
Ms. Farry,
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Personnel, any motion?
I make a motion.
Rick?
I'll second that.
Second, Amy.
One through 15.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, yes.
Can I go?
Personnel?
Yeah. Number 11. Air control program.
Yes.
Do we have a policy for that yet? Like for, like behavioral, enforcement?
Procedures are
Yeah.
currently being put in place
Okay.
for that. And I was looking forward to working with the person we would be approving as supervisor on doing that over the summer months, so that way we can get information out to parents.
Okay.
And we've also been working with a number of school districts in the local area who run their own program in terms of what's working, what's not working. We aren't looking to recreate the wheel. And I will say that even some of our former workers from Just Kids have been extremely helpful in terms of structuring it as much as possible. And speaking with parents, we've tried to let them know that we want to make it as convenient and affordable and, convenient for them as possible as parents. And we're trying to look at how we can best serve, every student that week. So that's all being put in place as of now.
Okay. So since this is personnel, will we have like job descriptions for what for what that is, since we're approving it?
We will be putting those job descriptions together, but my concern right now is getting the people in place. So for example, that would be similar to our aid positions as far as what the responsibilities would be in terms of working with the students and providing the people who are working with them during those hours the structure and outline of what the hourly breakdown looks like or what they'll be doing with the students when they come.
Okay.
If I could follow up with, I think what you're saying too, before this program will begin in the fall, we want to make sure that we have those guidelines in place and that the employee understands exactly what their responsibilities are, and how to handle situations.
I think whatever's in place will be better than what was, and I'm glad to see that we are actually doing this. It's much more convenient for the parents, number one, in terms of knowing who's with their kid. I'm glad, very long time in this district, glad to see this is happening. I think it's totally,
One thing I would like to mention that was a concern for many parents was on the initial information that went out, we tried to give them just preliminary information about the program. And under early dismissal days or delayed openings, I took information from inclement weather, early dismissal, delayed opening. So if we're gonna get 5 feet of snow in the next hour and the school's dismissing, we will not be holding the after-school program because all students have to go home. If we have a one-session day, because of conferences or something like that,
Right.
the program will still be held. So many parents thought when they looked at the calendar, oh my goodness, I need to find, childcare for my child on half days. That isn't the case. So I've already revised that and spoken to the parents, and we did put a message out on Facebook as well for anyone who might have seen that, just to reiterate the correction, so that way they were aware. But that wasn't the intention of that message, it was more for inclement weather.
So to follow up on that, how will these pay standards change for half days?
How will what?
If
They
we're
don't.
gonna keep
no,
it-
well,
They
this is
don't.
per day, right?
And it offsets each other. So what you have to realize is that some months have more days than others, and it's the same amount per month. So when you look in many of the programs, it's a set rate. So there's already leeway in terms of the amount of money being brought in the program versus the amount of money going out.
Right, I understand that, but if someone, for instance, someone's getting paid $45 a day for a PM session at Bingham,
Oh.
and the day they're
That'll
sick,
be
but
adjusted.
now it's a whole half day.
For the staff.
For the staff
The
itself.
staff, it would be adjusted. If you look at the rate, it's a little bit under $15 an hour that they're getting paid for before and after based on those hours. So it'll be adjusted based on the amount of time that they would be spending in the program.
So then is it correct to do this as a daily rate instead of as an hourly rate
I think for right now, it's more so getting everything in place
together and?
and letting them know that that's their daily rate. And that's something that I'll be speaking with them about
Okay.
as they start. But for the most part, it's, when you look at it and you break it down by hours that they're expected to be here, it comes out to be $15 an hour. So if they're gonna be expected to be here for 4 hours instead, it would be at their hourly rate, that hourly rate. I put it in that chart just to give you guys an idea of what it looks like between the schools, that was all.
I think too, whatever, going on what you're saying, whatever the hourly rate is, it should be in writing, because sometimes people's memories are valuable.
If you'd like, I could also add in $15 or $15 an hour to that.
I think that's probably the best way to go, just so you have
Not a problem.
clarity. Personally,
We have a-
everyone else is thinking, but
Meeting with those people that are involved in this program, this plan, all that.
Will those other things maybe be in place by the August meeting?
Oh, a lot's already been put in place, yes.
Okay, so maybe will that be something we could talk about then?
We can discuss it then.
Like the job descriptions and all that stuff, so that just we remember?
Mm-hmm.
so maybe we should approve the people and not the, money until we physically figure out and put in place hourly rates.
It was advertised at that dollar amount based
Okay.
on the dollar amount in speaking with other groups and what's been set up and looking at what other people were making to run the program. So to not put the hourly rate in place,
That's fine, and
That-
just $15 an hour in with this then as well.
yes, I can add that.
Thank you.
Is everyone comfortable with that? If there's an addition to this chart, an hourly rate of $15?
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
Okay. Any other items before we take a vote on the personnel?
Can I explain 14 and 15?
Please do.
Okay, so there's two motions on the table for 14 and 15 for Mr. Ianucci's contract. The contract has to first be approved to be submitted to the County Office of Education, to the Executive County Superintendent. Her responsibility as Executive County Superintendent is to review the contract completely that the board and the superintendent have come up with together, confirm the fact that everything is correct, that all the statutes are met, that the dollar amount does not exceed the cap within the state based on the population of the school district, and to make sure that everything's approved. Once it's approved by the county superintendent, the board then has to approve if there's any changes or anything happening. So the second motion, motion 15, is to approve the superintendent contract for 16 to 19. That's pending the fact that there aren't changes that the board would have to go back on what they're giving to the superintendent. So should there be changes that come back from the executive county superintendent, the board would have to approve those changes. Questions?
If I could add a comment to that too. Our board president has been in discussion with the superintendent, and she feels that how it has been finalized, the copy that needs to be sent to the county, she feels is a good contract and a fair contract.
Questions?
So, once this goes to the county and the county approves, there's no room for readjustment after that point, is what you're telling me, right?
So right now, what the board and the superintendent have agreed upon, there wouldn't be a need for adjustment unless the county superintendent comes back with the necessary change.
Okay.
They could change it, the county could
County
change
could
it,
change
yeah.
A lot of stuff is in wording right now.
Yeah,
The
no, I know, I'm
What
looking at,
about wording?
What's that?
The wording, that's what I'm thinking.
nah, they're looking for percentages, the county's
The
looking for dollars.
wording is changes on a year-to-year basis depending on what she might see as far as, things that come up with other contracts.
Any other comments?
We'll be notified when what the county says after the Karen.
That being said, as of right now, I know that there are many things that are under review at the county office, so we don't know when that review would be done. So therefore, the current contract in place from 15-16 remains in place
Until we hear from
until a review is completed and approved by the executive county superintendent.
Does that make you feel more at ease? She's very concerned, I can see it in her face.
I'm not completely comfortable.
But you hear what'll
I
happen,
hear
so
what's happening.
we don't, once it's submitted to them, we then have to approve the changes that they would then offer, correct, Dr. McCarron?
You would have to then go back and make any
Right,
adjustments.
so nothing that they say is set in stone without us knowing. And then the current contract that has been in place will continue until that's done. So
I
it's not,
understand
we
I
can
understand that.
discuss anything,
But once it's submitted, there is no more discussion, only changes that are made are changes made by the county superintendent, not
will they
made
propose,
by us,
they,
right, correct?
No,
We
so for right now, let's say you submit it and she sees no need for any changes, it stays in place. If there's any need for changes by the county superintendent, it then goes back to the board for discussion and changes.
nothing would be in place until we see it, we discuss it, and we put it into.
So if she accepts it, it's done. If she doesn't accept it,
We
Yes.
still get to talk.
it has to come back to you for discussion and revisions.
Is this the one that's being submitted, the one I have right here? The new one
I
that
was
was
trying to
listed?
know which one that is.
This is the new one, I believe.
We were sent it this morning, it was emailed to us this morning, that's the latest one.
Changes on here. Do we-
Ask them, let me ask them.
I think we should-
Do you folks want to go into executive session?
It just 10 minutes.
Okay, it looks like the majority wants to go to executive session. I think we're going to need
Can
to.
I get a motion To go into executive?
Not read that statement, yep. Oh, fun to read that, okay. We have a motion for executive session here?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
I'll second.
Okay.
Patty?
Start reading.
All right. Whereas, while Senator Byron and Bear Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-12, requires all meetings of the Runnemede School District Board of Education to be held in public, NJSA 10:4-12B sets forth facts and matters that may lawfully be discussed in executive session, i.e. without the public being permitted to attend. And whereas the Runnemede Public School District Board of Education has deemed it necessary to go into closed session to discuss certain matters which are exempted from public. And whereas the 9 exceptions to public meetings set forth in NJSA 10:4-12B are listed below, and next to each exception is a box within which the number of issues to be privately discussed that fall within the exception shall be written. And after each exception is a space where additional information will disclose as much information about this decision as possible without undermining the purpose of the exception shall be written. Now therefore be it resolved that the Runnemede Public School District Board of Education will go into closed session for the following reason. Any collective bargaining agreement or the terms and conditions for which are proposed for inclusion in any collective bargaining agreement. That is our reason for going into executive session. Whereas the length of the executive session is undetermined, however, the Runnemede Public School District Board of Education will make every attempt to estimate the time of the session prior to convening the session, after which the public meeting shall reconvene in 30 minutes, and the Runnemede Public School District Board of Education will proceed with further business. Now therefore be it resolved that the Runnemede Public School District Board of Education will go into executive session for only the above stated reason, as I stated previously, collective bargaining. Be it further resolved that the Runnemede Public School District Board of Education hereby declares that its discussion of the aforementioned subjects may be made public at a time when the Runnemede Public School District Board of Education attorney advises that the disclosure of the discussion will not detrimentally affect any right, interest, or duty of the school district or any other entity with respect to said discussion. Be it further resolved that the Runnemede Public School District Board of Education, for the aforementioned reasons, hereby declares that the public is excluded from the portion of the meeting during which the above discussion shall take place, and hereby directs the board secretary to take the appropriate action to effectuate the terms of this resolution. Be it further resolved that the Board of Education on the next business day following this meeting shall furnish a copy of this resolution to any member of the public who requests one at the fees allowed by the NJSA 47:1A-2. Action on any item may or may not be taken in open session at the conclusion of the executive session. A roll call vote.
Just all in favor?
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Folks, we're in executive session, no more than 30 minutes. We thank you for your patience. Just for clarification for everyone that's present, we just need to go into executive session because we wanted to make sure there was some verbiage in the contract. We wanted to make sure we all had a clear understanding, and we do at this point so we can move forward. I'd like to ask a motion to untable the motion.
I make a motion to untable the motion that we
No?
tabled.
What are we doing wrong now?
John, can I tell?
No, you make like your regular motion.
Okay.
Motion
I don't
is,
have to untable what we tabled
No,
before
but
you left?
table is
All
up
right.
to me.
Gotcha. All right, well, I make a motion. I make a motion to approve personnel, numbers 1 through 13.
Is there a second motion?
I mean, 15, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Maria. Is there a second
Wow.
motion?
Hold on.
I think you need to, I think.
Say it again.
1 through 15.
I second.
Thank you. Okay, any discussion? Seeing none, can we have a vote, please?
Ms. Adair?
Yes.
Ms. Beebe? Mr. Buckheim?
Yes.
Ms. Davidson?
Yes.
Ms. Barry?
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Sure, I just want to introduce Mr. Peely, who's going to introduce our new staff members. We're
Oh,
gonna-
hi, Mr. Feely, nice to meet you.
Always a pleasure, I'm going to introduce Volts, our new speech and language therapist, is Courtney McGee. Courtney, just.
Hi, Courtney.
Sit up,
Welcome.
please.
Congratulations.
I'm really excited to join you. I come from preschool, deaf and hard of hearing children, so I'm really excited to be back in a school district setting. Thank you.
Courtney did a great job in the interview process, and I think she'll be a great addition to the team here at Volts. And on behalf of Ms. Yezdi, Ashley, what's tell us a little, I don't really know much about you, so I don't know what to say, but you can tell me a little bit.
I'm Ashley Wardell. So I graduated from Monmouth University in January. I got a long-term sub position in Marlton, and then I accepted this job for the upcoming fall, so I'm really excited. Third grade, so I had second grade in Marlton, and now it's a step up, so I'm really, really excited.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Okay, finance, do I have a motion on the board?
I make a motion to approve numbers 1 through 15. No? Oh, keep going. Yeah, 1 through 24.
I will second that motion.
Questions?
Number 8. That's the same as before, correct?
It's the same as before, the only difference is that my bid threshold is increased because I received the qualified purchasing agent certificate. So before, while I was allowed to utilize prior certs, until I received mine, I now hold a QPA certification through June 2018. So I'm a qualified purchasing agent within the state of New Jersey. So the amount has increased.
Okay.
Okay.
Last year it was pending paperwork. That paperwork came in after the meeting, so
So I'm doing my
That's-
job that I knew it was different.
that's an annual approval.
All right,
Okay,
that's
thank
We're
you.
just glad you're certified.
Right.
Any other questions
Just
on these
like-
items?
certified.
You're certified to spend none. I've been certified for that for a long time. My
No
threshold
other
doesn't
comments
go
or
up.
questions?
No.
All right, can we have a vote, please?
Ms. Adair,
Yes.
Ms. Beebe,
Yes.
Mr. Buckline,
Yes.
Ms. Davidson,
Yes.
Ms. Farry,
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella.
Yes.
Motion passes.
I have a motion under curriculum for items 1 and 2.
I'd like to make a motion to approve items
Naomi?
number 1 and 2 under curriculum.
And
second.
Pat, thank you.
Any questions? Ms. Adair,
Yes.
Ms. Beebe,
Yes.
Mr. Buckline,
Yes.
Ms. Davidson,
Yes.
Ms. Farry,
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay. We have nothing under policies, public relations this time. However, the committee did meet today at 6 o'clock to review items in both areas, and I want to thank the committee members that were able to make it this evening for that meeting, and we will look into the proper procedure. I apologize if we've done anything wrong. We don't mean to do that. At this time, recognition of citizens or staff on non-agenda items.
Do you have this
Yes, sir, please.
in the folder?
John Schmidt, Gloucester, New Jersey. Not sure about if you discussed in policy. I did send an email to President Spalding and board members. She had, I believe, sent it to the vice president. But if any members have any questions on that, my contact information is in there. Feel free to contact me. 2 questions, more housekeeping items for me to ask. Your April minutes, when you approved them, did you approve them with 2 vote in the affirmative?
I'd have to ask Sean.
I can pull those minutes back up and get back to you.
Okay. Would they have been in your May minutes?
Did we, so in the April minutes, did we vote to what?
Sorry. The approval of your April minutes,
In
Which would have
May.
been in May.
which would have been in May. What was the vote on that?
I can pull that information and get back to you on that.
My understanding, there were 3 people absent from that meeting, and so there was only 2 people who voted in favor, and the other people abstained. But say if it was 2-0-3, majority being not in the affirmative, not sure how that would pass. They would have to hold off until you have members present to
But it
fully
would-
approve that. My next question, whether you can or cannot discuss it, and this may just be hearsay or rumor, and clarify it, but from what I have been told, that there's a a sitting board member on this board who has been residing south of here in the Cumberland, Salem County area, has been domiciled down there due to their house here being in foreclosure. I'm wondering if anyone might be able to know anything about that.
I don't have anything about that.
If you could maybe look into it, make sure all the board members are domiciled here in the borough. In 2011 in Medford, there was a councilwoman, Gray, I believe her name was, or Fay, who left Medford, was domiciled for about a 6-month period at least until it got to the courts. Was domiciled outside of the township, was living in Evesham with a friend or a family member. And the council did an investigation after receiving a complaint, vacated the seat. The judge upheld it and appointed a new member to that council, so. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments from the public? If not, I have a motion on the floor to adjourn this meeting.
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second?
I love it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned at